see, we're getting pretty close here. Now point over toward the Bay Area and make some noise for the 222 Bozo Net coming up in a minute.
6KLY.
Oh, nice signal, Russ. My God, sounds like you're in the room with me here. Over.
Yeah, a lot better than last night, that's for sure. Could barely hear you going in and out on 2 meters. Over.
Well, we probably weren't pointed at you when we were going in and out. You were always okay, but it was funny. No, the Bay Area was actually pounding in for me. Most everybody was pounding in. There was no weak signals to speak of, except one from Felton. One of our guys from Course Gold went over there and got on vertical, and I could hear him a little bit vertical, and then he switched over to horizontal, and then he disappeared, like something maybe went wrong with the horizontal. We couldn't hear him at all. Anyway, good evening. It's a pretty nice day here. It's starting to warm up. We had a few scattered clouds, intermittent sunshine, but probably about 60 degrees today. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Well, yesterday was a big day for 6 meters with a massive opening. You probably already know about that. Today was the usual Brazil and CE and LU, and that's about it. And of course, that L1RS, of course. All right, back to you. Check me in. I'll be listening, K6KLY.
WB6JNN.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I listened today and called CQ a lot on sideband, but got nobody. But there was a lot of big, strong signals coming from South America, but I couldn't get anybody to respond. I went up on 300, just 13 kilohertz below the FT8 band. I figured somebody must see me on their spectrum there, but I had guys that were S7, S8 here coming in on the FT signal strength, so plenty of signal to work on sideband, and nobody answered. I called CQ 5 or 10 times, and it was just total nothing. Anyway, good evening, Jim. WB6JNN, K6MYC.
Yeah, how you doing, Mike? WB6JNN. Yeah, sort of a boring day here at home, but the cats were in and out. They couldn't figure out whether they wanted to be in or out all day long. Aside from that, I built an airplane today, but it's too windy to fly anything, so there you go. WB6JNN.
Really, still too windy to fly, huh? We didn't have much wind here. We had just a puff of wind every now and then, but you should live over here.
Oh, you have your times too there.
Oh, once in a while we get a little wind.
Remember, I'm flying light aircraft. I'm not flying the big ones, so that makes a difference. Not enough room in the city to fly the big ones.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, anyway, yeah, it was cooler today. I mean, it warmed up a little bit from the day before, and we had a little more sun, but never did get much past 65 or so, probably 60, 65 maximum. But it was pleasant outside. I worked outside for a while. We worked inside for a while in the morning. Anyway, good to hear you. Strong signal tonight. No problem on 220 here. Let's see if there's anybody else over there. Jim, you take it, and we'll stand by and see if there's anybody else. WB6JNN with K6KLY, K6MYC, 222 Bozo.
Yeah, okay. Anybody else in the Bay Area? WB6JNN.
Hi, Jim. W6PQL and K6WIS is here as well. And Mike was very strong. He's faded down to not so strong right now, but copy him okay. My surgeon cleared me for normal activities today, so I guess I'm all cured. Back to you, Mike. K6MYC, W6PQL.
Oh, it means you don't have to sit down anymore to take a pee, huh?
No, I can talk on the mic now.
Very good. Can lift more than 3 pounds. Okay, good deal. And I heard Paul in there also. Good signal, Paul. Let me get it over to you quickly here at K6WIS and see if you have any other check-ins from over that way. K6MYC Bozo Net.
Hi, good evening, Bay Area and Mike, K6NYC in the group. This is K6WIS. Yep, I just had a quick QSO with the K-Lake guys. That will be N1PPP and KA6OSX, so you can log them in. And you got loud signal here tonight, there, Mike, 5x8. And good evening, Jim, 7x7. And earlier I heard K6KOY in there. And Jim, JNN, I just hear you in there, about a 3x1. So back to net controls from K6WIS.
Yeah, booming. I didn't know you drove over here today and you're parked in my driveway, huh?
Well, I did drive down to the Bay Area, and I only just got back a bit late, so it was only about 7:15 when I fired up the radio here, over.
Well, I was pulling your leg. You're so strong you might as well be in my driveway, over.
Roger, noted. Yeah, that's great. Well, I've got the amp here, so probably pushing at least peaking 500 watts here, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you know, I hear you with the amp quite all the time on 220 for the most part, and I don't think I've ever heard you any stronger, really, on that on the back scatter path on any band. So 220 is really, well, I think it goes along with what Russ said yesterday, K6ERF. He said, we're moving in, there's a big tropo high. I don't know how he knows this. He watches some website, but he said the tropo conditions over the next few days look like they're going to be really spectacular, and here we are in the Bay Area. So you're just pounding in, Jim, and I got N1PPP Dave and KA6OSX Kent 160 all checked in here. So there we go. Good to hear you, and you're being heard in the Bay Area. Let me shoot it back to PQL and let him say a few words to you. You guys are communicating quite well. Jim, you're very strong, but I did notice some QSB. It's up and down, but still your weakest is really still good, over.
Yeah, we've probably got a little backscatter going on too, because occasionally I can hear that Doppler effect. But if I turn my antenna like I'm doing now and point it at Paul, he's going to get very strong unless he's using a bounce path.
Oh, 20/9 now as he went from S7 to 20/9. So, wow, that's expected, over.
Yeah, we've got good conditions, I guess.
Yep, maybe there's a bit of an inversion layer up there, you know, increase in temperature with elevation or something like that, over.
No, it's a tropo thing that's going on.
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just glad when it happens. I'm rotating back now since I can copy you just fine in the other direction. And back over there to Mike.
Yeah, booming signal. I could hear you pointed that way, but you go down to close to the noise, Jim, when you go toward toward Paul there. Very good. Good signals. According to Russ, I may be using the wrong word. He said I thought he said tropo, but maybe I got the word wrong. Doggone it. He watches it, and it's a VHF function of the atmosphere or something, and he said it's going to be really good. It started last night. We could see it to the eastern part, to the western part of the Bay Area, and then as I got past him, it sort of went back down to normal over Sacramento. But it was certainly in the Bay Area already last night. All right, let's see if we've got some others in the Bay Area here on 220. We should have Fred, KD6S, okay?
KW6S.
I hear KW6S. Good evening, Tom. Let me just see. Fred, are you here? No, that's unusual. Okay, let me come down your way. You're not a bit weak, but I'll bring it down your way. That should be a lot better, Tom, over.
Boy, I didn't notice any difference at all. The path seems to be a little weaker tonight than normal, but yeah, no problem working here, and we'll wait and see what else happens through the evening here, and I'll be around for 6 meters later tonight.
Okay, well, I didn't move the antenna far enough. I stopped too quick. I remember on this band you peak about 272 to 273, and I'm at 273 now, so that should be better. you came up quite a bit and got rid of the flutter. So good. And we'll look for you, of course, on 6. 6 was open again today with big signals, and I called CQ a couple of 3 or 4, 5, 6 times on 50.300, thinking that somebody might see me. The S meter's bobbling all over with the FT8 signals, and so I don't know why we can't get a sideband contact. But maybe when they get the radios, you could tell me, or somebody could tell me, if you run FT8, how fast can you get your radio back out of the FT8 mode and back over to sideband? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's a difficult transition. Jim, PQL, you would know that, wouldn't you? Tom, you must know that.
Yeah, it's basically a button push if you're going to stay on the same frequency, and if you're not, it's a button push and a knob twist. Yeah, it goes pretty well. Yeah, on my radio it's 2 button pushes on a touch screen. But yeah, I missed the opening. Oh, I was pointed down at Australia, and I was hearing New Caledonia real well, but he was, I think he was trying to work Wisconsin or something. And but that was about all I heard. But that was late in the afternoon, and not in a prime time for 6 meters.
Yeah, well, we're borderline F2. That was probably some F2 from Fox Kilo 8, New Caledonia. He, if it's the same guy that's been down there for several years with a big signal, if you've ever worked him before, he has a log that he can bring up right away, and he said, "I've already worked you. Goodbye."
Yeah, I don't know if he's that guy or not. I didn't look him up. I've worked New Caledonia quite several different stations in New Caledonia on 6 meters, which is kind of weird. But I've never worked Australia, but I've worked New Zealand. So I was pointed at Australia hoping to pick up something, but never did.
Well, you'll get Australia. There's quite a few big guns down there. They are, but they've worked a lot of the West Coast, so you're not a prime target, if you will.
Yeah, I kind of realized that too. And the New Caledonia, I didn't need New Caledonia, and he was calling. He had a directed call for Wisconsin, I guess. I don't remember. It's one of the states, and he was obviously trying to fill out his worked all states.
Yeah, well, they seem to have a magic spot down there. When anything comes in from that area, they're always in, and they're always in as strong as anybody or stronger. So they have a really, really good location, close enough to the equator, I think, and all things are good. They have a water shot and just nothing on the bad side. Anyway, sorry you didn't catch anything new today, but you'll get the VK. There'll be plenty of them. So it's just a matter of time. And VK2s, all the guys on the West Coast, on the East Coast, I should say, are going to be in there for you. All right, let's see who else we have. We're still waiting for KD6SOK. I'm surprised Fred isn't in here.
Hey, Mike, I'm here. I was just
711 K6MI.
working on the circuit board. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Fred. Let me bump up your way. And I hear you, John. K6 Mexico, Italy, also here. Good evening, 711 for John. And Fred is 507, I believe. Let's see. That should be a little better, Fred. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, we got a little airplane flutter, but that's not unusual. Yeah, it's 507. No, I was just in the garage tinkering with some electronics and doing some debugging, old-fashioned debugging, and I thought, oh, shoot, it's 7:30. I better get in and check in on the net. Luckily, I had the transverter on for a little while, so it should be warmed up by now. Anyway, it was a beautiful day, kind of windy. It's getting cold now. It's starting to get really chilly outside. But good to hear you tonight, Mike. You sound great. Back to you, KD6SOK.
A good signal from you also, Fred. Very good. I'm glad you finally looked up from the circuit board to see what time it was. It's hard to tell these days. I still got sunlight here. The sun is still just in the process of going down at 7 o'clock. It's hard to get used to that after watching it disappear and get dark at 5. And that, of course, mixed together with daylight savings makes it even more dramatic. Right, very good. Good to hear you. And we'll take one more standby. I think we've got the regulars here, at least in the Bay Area. The only one we're missing is Ed, WA6AXX. Are you with us tonight, Ed?
Yes, I am. I'm going on here. We lost power for about an hour and a half. So PG&E has been up here for a while. There was a line that was dangling by a jumper, so they shut off power and repaired it. But it's back. So but I have batteries, so I can still get on the air with the 2 ICOM radios. K6MYC WA6AXX.
Yeah, well, good deal. That's unusual at this time of the year. It must have been just worn to a frazzle with your winds and stuff, and then all of a sudden it finally let go. You didn't have any big winds in the last 24 hours that knocked that loose, did you?
No, it's probably been that way for at least several days, but they became aware of it and fixed it. It wasn't interrupting service. It was just going. Not down to the ground, but no, they did what they need to do. They had 3 PG&E trucks up here. Anyway, power back.
Yeah, well, I guess when they got a wire that's almost in a potential to fall, they sure as hell don't want to be short of manpower, because they may have to do some scrambling if that thing had broken while they were working on it. That's a little touchy. Don't want that kind of power hitting the ground. I would assume it was a 12 kV line or something, right?
Oh, I don't know. It served, well, when they put down power, it was like 28 homes. So I don't know what tier that is.
Well, you can tell by the insulators that most high tension lines, most power lines are high voltage. They start at 12 kV, then they go to 21 on the bigger stuff where they have to handle more customers. But you probably have 12 kV floating around your neighborhood there. But it's still nasty if it hits the ground, I can tell you.
Well, I can use it, tap into that 12 kV line and run a high power amplifier.
Yes, you could. You could drive in underneath it and put a big inductive loop up there and steal power. That's what they did back in Tennessee or someplace, wherever they had the Tennessee Valley Authority. The farmers got smart real fast because I guess they didn't put the high tension lines up real high. And they were running 200 kW or 200 kilovolts on those lines, and the farmers figured out that they could get power for free by just putting another power line in parallel with it and running it into their house. Over.
Yeah, an open air transformer.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, okay. Well, good to hear you. And sounding strong as always, even though you're running. Well, you're probably running your normal power now. You got your power back, didn't you?
Right.
Your normal power, is that transverter at 50 watts or something?
Yeah, it's a 50 watt transverter.
Yeah, well, it's doing good over this way. No problem. Okay, let's see if there's anyone else. We might get Mike in here. Let me go up a little further north. I think Mike's got, no, I don't remember whether Mike's KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie has got 222 or not. Anybody else in the Bay Area for 222 Bozo Net, K6MYC? All quiet. How about the San Joaquin Valley? I haven't heard anybody check in here yet. I don't have any friends. I know K6USY is on because he's got the stream going.
Yeah, 7-Eleven checked in.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, 7-Eleven. I'm sorry, John. Somehow you're so far to the south and west of me, I forgot that you're in Fresno.
Northwest Fresno. And 6 was kind of fun yesterday and today.
Yeah, I bet it was. Did you work anything new?
I did work 9Y5, 9Y6 that I didn't ever have before, 9Y4 Delta. And then the rest was all Galapagos, Argentina, Chile, and that sort of stuff. But there was a PJ7 and a PJ2 that would have been new for me, but I didn't get those yet.
I'll be darned. Was it 6Y5 or 9Y5? I can't remember. Trinidad?
Yeah, 9Y5, 9Y4.
Yeah, Trinidad. That's a good one.
Yeah, that was new.
Well, I wish some of these guys that can speak English would come up and join the party, but I just couldn't get anybody on phone.
Yeah, I'm going to have to set up 2 different 6-meter stations, one for phone and one for FT8, and just have them both on.
Now, when I was watching the spectrum here, and I went up and called CQ on 50.300, which is close enough so that I should have been on their spectrum display as a pretty big spike, because I was seeing S-meter movement here at S9, not S9, but S7, a lot of S5 to S7 signals, which are easily workable on sideband, obviously. I can work people that don't even move the meter. So I had plenty of signal, but they just will not come up on sideband.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
Lamentable, and especially in the VHF contest where you're going analog only and not using FT8. But whatever, I do what I can.
Live stream, I'm getting covered up. I'll wait.
Yeah, you were getting covered up. That's okay. I got it, John. Underneath you there, Jim had a comment. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, on the FT8, if you're 10 kilohertz below them, they won't even see you on their display because they're watching the WSJT display. And generally that goes from 0 hertz to 3 kilohertz maximum. So anything below 0 hertz, they wouldn't see you at all. You would have to be 3 kilohertz above 313 at 316 for them to notice you if they had their spectrum display widened out. So unless you're in their bandpass, you probably wouldn't get their attention.
Well, that's a good clue. I thought they might have their spectrum display on the radio showing. Like on the 9700, you would see me at 10 kc down.
Yeah, that would work, but the spectrum display on WSJT is more sensitive, so they would probably be staring at that rather than the other one.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll just go up and call them right on the frequency then and see what happens, and I'll tell them I'm listening on 305 or something so they could tune down quickly.
Okay. I don't know how that'll go over, but you'll find out.
Well, I've done it before. I've never got any negatives or positive, but I didn't spend a lot of time doing it. I never hear anybody comment or complain even. I think they're numb from the neck both ways when they run FT8 over.
I suppose.
Well, they don't have anything turned up where you can hear it, so it may not ever get to them if they're not watching the display jump off the map.
Yeah, it would wreck all their decodes in that bandpass, which is 3 kilohertz wide. You know, so that would be kind of disruptive.
Well, yeah, but I don't call very long, just long enough to let them know that there's some opening and they better pay attention.
226 is here.
Okay, 226. I'm sure you're pointed up and to the Bay Area. Go ahead, Ken. WA60IB with W6PQL and others, K6MYC.
Yeah, good evening, K6MYC and W6PQL. Hello over there, Jim. WA60IB is here. And I did work FT8 today. That was the only thing I could. I tried on sideband. In fact, I've got a little deal on my FT8. You can put a little message on there, and when I get through with the QSL, I'll put that on there. SSB on 50.125, and I don't know. I guess they don't listen.
Or they don't know where 125 is.
Well, the 50.125 is what I say in SSB, so they should know that.
Oh, well, maybe. They know where 313 is, but I'm not sure where the mentality is at that level. I wonder if they even know that 110 is an international calling frequency for DX.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
guys there. They just don't want to talk. They don't want to, it's kind of like when you're working DX, you trade signal reports and you're done. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, I feel the same way. There's no problem with it, but I prefer to talk, but if that's where they're at, that's where I have to go. How are you over there, Jim?
Well, I'm doing well, Ken. In fact, I was telling Mike that saw my surgeon today after 3.5 weeks since the procedure, and she cleared me for normal activity, so I'm feeling good.
Very good. Well, that's good to hear. Good to hear. Glad you're back to normal.
And he can swing a golf club down.
Well, that was important. That was what I was waiting to hear.
That's right. Okay, well, you and John are the only two check-ins from the San Joaquin Valley here tonight. I don't know where AAJ sold off all his equipment, and I think his buddy, I guess Bill, AA6S doesn't even have 220. Isn't that it?
Right. He does not want to do 220. He doesn't care for it.
Well, what in the hell is there difference between 220 and 2 meters and 432?
Well, if he's got to make a choice, he made his choice. If you got 4 choices and you can only do 3, he did the 3.
Well, Bill could do all choices. He got enough wherewithal to do it. Anyway, it's whatever. I guess that's why Mike sold his stuff off.
Probably.
Okay. Well, if there's nobody else to come on or make comment out of the Bay Area, we'll move on into Oakley, I think.
All right. Yeah, good night, Jim. Have a good one over there.
You get that, Jim? Yep, Jim moved off already. I think maybe he's going up to 110 and work down there to Steve. Okay, let's go over to Oakley and see what we get.
Okay, I did talk to Ralph, by the way. I know.
Oh, you did? Okay, well, I'll write him in. Thank you.
And hi to Ken if you're awake up there.
N6RO. K6MYC with WA60YB.
Yeah, howdy. Mike and Ken, N6RO, 835. Nice day. I spent most of it watching March Madness basketball. Go ahead.
Oh, that it isn't March, is it?
I hope so.
Oh. It's almost April anyway. I'm hoping for April.
Yeah, we're getting ready.
We need April showers here. I got an inch in that last bit, and we went down and looked at the pond, and we have a puddle in the pond, but no added water.
Oh, great. Puddle problem in the driveway was sort of resolved. My tractor with a box scraper on the back and a motor on the front, and he leveled out pulled some more dirt into the low point, and looks like a driveway now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just missed the first part of that. I went the wrong way with the antenna. Your signal skewed a little bit this evening. I'm clear up at 305 where you're peaking. You almost went away at 300. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, okay, on the driveway repair. Well, I guess it was less than mushy, so they got in there and got it done, huh?
Yeah, right. Actually, the main job was burning the brush pile that's been accumulating for 4 or 5 years. It was really big, about 50 feet across and 10 feet deep. So he, while it was burning, he was burning the tractor around, just heaping it up again and pushing it towards center. So the farm is coming along.
Yeah, very good. You don't have much of a fire hazard at this time of the year, but you normally don't want to burn a pile that big. You want to break it into 5 or 10 pieces and then do it that way. It's much safer.
Yeah, well, he was there with his machine, and
Yeah, and you don't have acres of knee-high dry grass all around you either right now at this time of the year, do you?
No, it's all green, and it was mowed in that area.
Yeah, okay. We start fires here, but I've had as many as 18 going at the same time. None of them are very big, but we can manage it. And we just set a lot of little fires instead of one big one. It also attracts less attention from the fire guys flying around looking for you.
Yeah. Evidently, our fire departments up here have gotten really tight on what you burn and when you burn, and they've raised the price, and they ask for all sorts of information on who owns the property and who's managing the vineyard and what's my shoe size.
Yeah, and do they want the name of your third child?
Right.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I haven't asked for. I had a burning permit, and they probably know who I am. I haven't moved, but I haven't had a burning permit that I got from the fire department for about 10 or 12 years. And I don't know whether they're continued from year to year in validation, or you have to get one every year, but I never do.
I'm not sure if it expires or not. It's actually now, we transferred it to the vineyard manager. He's running everything out there.
Okay. Well, we just watched the elevation, at which we're allowed to burn in the summertime, of course, and even in the spring. There's always an elevation, burning at 1,000 feet and above, or 2,000 feet or above, or something like that. So we try to pay pretty close attention to that. We very seldom break the rules there by very much. Over. What I don't do, and you're sort of supposed to do this, is put the fire out when the sun goes down, but we never do.
No, we didn't either. In fact, there's a pile of white ash out there that's still got some heat in it.
Oh yeah. Well, the burning pile you're as big as the one you described. That's going to be hot for days, and it's going to be cooking and cooking and cooking, probably burning internally there and down close to the ground for several days.
All we have to do is observe the burn day thing.
Well, that's good. All right, let's move on here. We'll see you on 6 meters in a few minutes.
Right after dinner.
Yeah, okay. Ken, do you want to say hello to Ken?
Well, he said hello to me. You betcha. Hi, Ken. You sound pretty good tonight. Doggone you. I think you had some sort of a congestion or something, but you sound real clear tonight.
It must be my nose. Hi, Ken.
Okay, well, you sound great. I mean, your voice quality and everything sounds like whatever you had is gone now.
Yeah, okay. I haven't done much talking today, so the voice is not warmed up.
Oh, all FT8, huh?
Oh, no, I don't touch that stuff.
No, I was just pulling your leg.
Well, 6 meters was wide open again today, down to all across the Caribbean and over into Fox Kilo 8 land and all that. But it's all FT8. I didn't see anybody or hear anybody working anything on sideband.
Yeah, I worked a bunch of ZLs and some VKs. I tried to work that guy in New Caledonia, but he would not answer. He was calling CQ Africa, and he would not bust it. I tried him for a long time. Both LOL and I did, and he just wouldn't talk to us. He was a +5, +7, really just banging signal, but he never would answer us. So, oh well.
It's interesting you got a lot of VKs, because Tom was in here a few minutes ago and said he got everything, but he didn't hear any or work any VKs. He couldn't work the VK, the Fox Kilo 8 either. He wouldn't answer him. But Tom doesn't even have VK yet in his log for 6 meters. And of course, he's in a prime spot to work them. I mean, he's right on the coast looking at water there, so he should be able to have an easy shot. He hears them. I guess he's heard a few, but hasn't worked one yet. But I said, well, they're plentiful. You'll get them. You're just not a prime target. They've worked plenty of W6s over.
Yeah. Well, they were a little bit later on. You know, it started in South America with Chile and all that, and then over to New Zealand, and then when New Zealand was about halfway through their cycle, the New Caledonia came in, and then after that, the Australians came in. So I worked a few of each. So it was okay. And I put my little tag on a few of them that were strong. That I could actually hear, and I put at the end there, and and then I tuned over to 125, and nobody was there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to do about that. VKs and the Fox Kilo 8s and the ZL certainly speak English, so it's not a language barrier.
Oh heavens, no! I just don't. They're just probably all tied up with their computer stuff and don't want to pick up a microphone.
Okay. Well, let's see. Who else do we have? Anybody else copying me in this direction? I don't think my SSW. We don't even know where he is. He's at home and he doesn't have 220 anyway. Anybody copying us here on 222? How about Clear Lake K6MYC? I think we got Clear Lake checked in already. As a matter of fact, they did check in. Paul checked them in earlier, so we got them. They were here, but we haven't worked them. All right, I'm going to go to Sacramento. Here we go. Okay, KJ6 Whiskey Kilo Foxtrot Bravo or KO6HS K6MYC, over.
Yeah, hi, Mike, KO6 Katie, 776.
Yeah, good evening, Bill. Sound a little down, but everything okay there, or is it getting worse?
Well, much worse.
For your mother or you?
Both, but she's, anyway. Yeah, just checking in. I haven't heard Darren this evening, so I'm not sure if he's around now or not.
Okay, well, we'll keep an ear out for him for a minute here, but okay. Do you think he'll be in there in the morning, or do you don't know for sure yet?
I really don't know, but it's actually the thought has occurred to me that like today, he had other things to do. Bob wasn't around much. It just doesn't seem like there's really much activity there. So it seems like there's more excuses to not be around than there is to be there. So, if you'd like to just kind of call it quits or maybe only do it 1 or 2 days a week or something like that, I can understand.
Well, no, I like to do it every day. The problem is I've had something going, or Bob's had something going every day. He had to go fix his friend's radio one day, and then the broken vehicle today that he didn't have any options on. It just happens. It's just life. And it does get in the way of the serious discussions. And, of course, we didn't have all the information this morning. It did pop up pretty quickly related to the business with Trump in New York and all that, and the dropping of the 450 or 500 million down to 150 million and giving him another 10 days to come up with it. And that may even change before it's all over. The secondary appellate court is looking at it, and I don't think they're real happy with this whole thing. But they're reticent to shoot the judge that applied that nasty bond number too much. So they sort of went halfway. I guess Trump's lawyers asked for 1,000 or 1 million, and they set it at 1.5 million. But they did get a 10-day extension. Not that they needed. Trump's got that money, so he'll pay it if it comes to that. Anyway, that was one thing, and then the Stormy Daniels case is crumbling in one way or the other. So it's interesting stuff, but the general news media is going bonkers when Trump didn't have to give up Trump Tower and the city of New York didn't take over all his holdings there. Over.
Yeah, I imagine they are. I haven't heard that much about it. But I missed some of the stuff that I was going to watch. So anyway, that's as time goes along, it's seems like more and more of the stuff is starting to unravel, and which is fine, but then again, who's to say, how much the damage is that's been done. I did hear that the running mate for RFK Jr. appears to be some gal. I don't think she's even 30 years old yet. So if she's not at least 35, I don't think she can run, because I think that's the minimum age you have to be in order to be president. So even if you're the vice president, you still have to be at least minimum age to be president, if in fact you are president. So heck, I don't know, but I can't believe these guys that they think that they have to court the female vote and bring in a woman as a running mate. I think that's just absurd. But anyway, so what are we going to do? Okay, anyway, enough said there. I'll probably be there in the morning at some point. Maybe just sitting there listening to the teletype or the motorboating again, like we did this morning.
Yeah, that was a little bit annoying. It didn't ever go away. All right, let me let you go. I'll look for Darren quickly, and then I'll move up to the guys in Nevada, and we'll go over and see you on 6 meters. If you can check in a few minutes, I'll just go from Nevada right down to you on 6, okay?
All right, and I'll try to get a hold of John to tell him to KO6KD.
Okay, KJ6KFB, KJ6 Kilo Foxtrot Bravo, KE6MYC. Darren, are you here this evening? Nothing from Darren. You can tell me on 6 if he ever shows up, Bill.
Roger. I'm calling him now on 2, but no response.
Okay, maybe he's sleeping or isn't at home. Maybe he's out for a walk.
Hold on, Bill. WA6OIB.
Bill?
What's that?
Ken wanted to say hi to you. Take a second and say hi to Ken. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, he may not be copying. WA6OIB.
Yeah, good evening, Ken. WA6OIB, KO6KD. Good evening, sir. Nice signal here. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Been a rough day, but doing honeydews, a lot of weeding and all that kind of stuff, so there we go.
Yep. I can imagine. I surely can. I can imagine having a busy day. So, anyway, good to hear your voice out here. Hope things are going well. And thank you for coming in and saying hi. It's always good to hear from you.
Very good, Bill. Take care and cheer up. WA6OIB, Northern Clovis.
Now, 2 quick questions I keep forgetting to ask you. N6RZJ or N6UTV, Tyler, did either one of them get a hold of you yet?
06KD, take care and give my best to Glenn.
Oh, I doubled with you. What I said was, have you heard anything from K6RZJ, N6RZJ or N6UTV Tyler yet? Over. Bill?
Am I doubling again?
I don't know. I just asked you a question now. This will be the 3rd time. Have you heard anything from N6RZJ or N6UTV? I think his call is UTV. Yeah, UTV is correct. That's Tyler. But Tyler's got a bucket truck that can go to 60 feet. He could do the whole thing the right way and he's about 7 miles from you there, over.
I have not talked to him, but I did get an email, I thought, and I'll need to respond. There's been a few other things on my mind. I did talk to Dan last night. He showed up, and we talked on Simplex for quite some time. He actually showed up on 40 meters this morning, so at the tail end of things. So anyway, yes, I know they're very willing to come out and get things straightened up, and as you can imagine at this point, as much as I'd like to chat about it, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, but I appreciate the offer from the guys. And as long as I'm talking here, I will say what I've said twice now, and that is, Ken, thank you for your kind words, and I will try to cheer up, but it's going to be very difficult, as you can imagine. And 7-3 to you, and give my best to Glenn.
I sure will, Bill, and you're in our prayers. Thank you. WA60IB.
Thank you very much.
Okay, very good, Bill. Well, listen, the time frame isn't important. I just want you to have the context. So both of those guys apparently can do what you need done, and it seemed like even Tyler might be better and easier. He's only 7 miles from you, and he has access to the big bucket truck, so he could do all this with from the bucket. Probably from your front yard. I don't know how far back in the property your tower is, but he might be able to reach it right from the driveway or something. Over.
Yes, that's true, and that was one thing that I put a couple of pictures on my QRZ page. There's one that's there, and then I added a couple of, or at least one other one, I should say, on there last night, so that way Dan was able to see kind of what was going on here, and I went ahead and took the other one back down again, but he was able to see for himself what's going on, and we chatted some more about things. So it's in the works, and I'll respond to Tyler's email. So thank you very much for setting that up.
Yeah, well, again, you can tell them what your current situation is, and you just can't think about it for a week or two or three. But at least let them know that you're interested and you really appreciate their capability. Tyler seems to be the easiest to do it, and he's more than capable. He wouldn't have a bucket truck if he didn't know what he was doing. Over.
Well, I presume so, unless he just simply rents it out. You know, I suppose he could own it, show up, and say, "Here, you guys go up and do the work, and then I'll just drive away." You know, he may just own the tool, but somebody else does the work. I don't know, but I doubt it. Of course, I'm sure he's very, very competent. I've spoken to him once or twice before. So anyway, I've got the email there. I will respond to it, so that way I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah, just let him know what your situation is for the week by week here, and that way you're in queue, sort of. All right, thanks, Bill. Good, and we'll see you in the morning, hopefully. KO6KD and the group K6MYC. Anybody else before we go to Nevada? Okay, Nevada, here we go. Okay. N7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT, November 7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT, K6MYC, Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie, and the 222 Bozo Net with WA60IB. Calling and standing by, Larry. He should be there. He knows it's time to about now to go to 6 meters. N7 Whiskey Tango. N7WT, N7 Whiskey Tango, K6MYC. N7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT, K6MYC, calling and listening. KE7UQL, way down. Let me bump over this way a little bit more. Maybe this will be better. KE7UQL, go ahead, Daniel. KE7UQL, I kind of lost you, Daniel, but I got you checked in. I got you anyway. KE7UQL 272, K6MYC. I've never heard you this week. It may not be working right. Over. Are you doing any good with him, Ken?
Oh, that was Larry right there.
I thought it was a different voice. Yeah, both of them are way down from normal.
Yeah, N7WT, N7WT, WA60IB, and K6MYC. Over. Yeah, they're way down tonight. UQL. There you are, WA60IB. Over.
Yes, Roger, Ken. We've got you at this time. Not real strong, but we've got you, KG7 UQL. Over.
Yeah, a little bit high in frequency, Dan.
About an S1 at the best. S1 at the best. Over.
Roger, I agree. S1 is about the name of the game tonight. Over.
Come on down about 50 cycles. Come down in frequency about 50 cycles, Daniel. You're Q5 now. KE7 UQL with WA60IB and N7 Whiskey Tango, K6MYC. Go ahead, Daniel.
Roger, K6MYC. Larry tried to check in with you, but he can't hear you. Over.
Yeah, maybe he's got a problem there because he's way down. You're much stronger than he is. Let's try again. N7 Whiskey Tango, is it coming up any better now, Larry? K6MYC in the group? Okay, Daniel, you tell him we'll be over on 6. We'll go to 6. We'll see you in about 5 minutes on 6 meters, okay?
Okay, Mike. Yes, you came up to about S7 that time. Larry, Mike is going to be on 6 meters in about 5 to 6 minutes. Over.
Roger, on the 5 to 6 minutes. I'm copying on screen, but he just can't get noise tonight. Housing conditions.
Okay, N7WT, we've got you now, Larry. Did you copy that, Ken?
We've got this. KE7 UQL.
Okay, yeah, you both came up to about an S7 there. N7WT, KE7 UQL, WA60IB. Over.
WA60IB, you're 5 and 5. 5 and 5, but I haven't heard Mike. N7WT.
Okay, yeah, you're 5 and 7. Good signal right now. Plenty copyable. Okay, very good. We're going over to 6 meters.
7-3, N7WT. We'll see you on 6.
Yeah, we copy you fine, Larry. You're S3 to S4 here on sideband. No problem. N7 Whiskey Tango, K6MYC. Over. Boy, he just does not hear on this band.
Well, he responded to me. I told him we're going over on 6.
I know, I heard him, but I heard every word he said. But normally he responds.
K6MYC, KE7 UQL. You're fine copy at this time, Mike.
You're fine too. Still a little bit high in frequency. Both you and Larry are about 50 cycles high, but it's readable. But you'd have more signal strength if you were down a little bit.
Okay, did I go in the right direction? This is KE7 UQL.
Yeah, I didn't know you moved into my shack there. Over. You're big signal now.
Okay, yeah, I always get the frequency off a little bit. The ear is a little tinny this time of year. Over.
Yeah, and the radio is probably cold too. Okay, how you doing on the other bands? Have you got anything repaired?
Well, I'm going to have to take down one of them and put 2 meters up, or I could go to 1296. But I think 432 is going to come down, and I'll put one of the other 2 bands up.
Okay, what's the matter? You got some broken mast or something?
No, I just have 2 masts at this time. I think I have to invest in a third. Over.
Okay, this must be all little short stuff on the roof, huh?
No, they're on the dirt. They're mounted on the dirt, but I'm spoiled on stacking antennas at this time. Over.
Okay, no problem. We'll take whatever we get, but you're doing fine now. You're way up, so apparently we were just in a very, very long, deep null there. 7-3, back to you, Ken, and we'll go over to 6 meters right now. 73, KE7 UQL with WA60IB, K6MYC.
K6MYC, you're 5 and 7. First time tonight. 5 and 7, N7WT.
Yeah, very loud, Larry. 5 and 8, 5 and 9, big signal. Listen to yourself on stream. Over.
Yeah, you just finally come out of the noise. You're 5 and 7 now. Good copy for both you and Ken. Anyway, we'll see you over on the 6 meters. It's 220's not so good tonight.
Roger, Roger. Go ahead, Ken. Ken's already over on 6, I guess. 7-3, guys. See ya.
Roger, Roger. KE7 UQL, 7-3.
7-3.
I wasn't having any luck at all, so I shut the rig off and got some work done and came back later and worked ZL1RS down there. Of course, that's no feat, but at least I felt better.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, very good. Yeah, I worked him. In fact, he was the first ZL that I worked. Yeah, but like you say, he's a big guy, a big gun.
I forget, I looked on his QRZ page, I was amazed, but a friend of mine was saying he's got like 6 8-element beams on 6 meters aimed up this way. I don't know, something like that. I could be wrong, but lots and lots and lots of metal in the sky.
Yeah, for sure. Are you up yet, Mike? K6MYC, WA6OIB.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just getting everybody written in. Over.
Very good. Yeah, Ben was here, of course, and John, who were you talking to when I first came on here? I didn't hear him.
Aaron.
Oh, hi, Aaron. K6USY in the gang, WA6OIB.
Yep, I've been here, and then you came on frequency and just went off from there. So, but yeah, I'm here. I worked Argentina yesterday off the whole loop on 6 meters, so that was a lot of fun. And but I was stuck at work today, and I got the emails about the openings, and I was like, oh man, can't work anybody today.
Yeah, I know how that goes. Yeah, I got called a couple days ago, and I was in the middle of things. I couldn't get out here, so oh well. But I made up for today. I had a nice day.
Okay, we've got Shu in here, Aaron, and we've got you, John. Good evening to both of you. And you probably had some fun today, didn't you, John, on 6?
Oh, yeah, yesterday and today. But I didn't hear the VKs that Ken heard. I must have been out in the yard working then.
Did you pull a weed today?
Yeah, I pulled a bunch of weeds.
You have these thistles that grow 6 inches a day?
Yeah, seems like it.
God.
Yeah, the VK started to come in at 22:35 Zulu. That's when they started in.
Really? Yeah, the last thing I worked was CE3 at 22:37.
Well, you got to turn the antenna to hear VKs, John.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because the CEs were already gone for me.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I had it pointed towards South America. I have a south stop, so I have to bring it all the way around to go to VK.
Well, that's what you got to do then.
Yep, next time.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you, we went over to Larry's today. A bunch of us went over there to put his 40-meter beam on and everything. Carl Beckman was there and everything, and we were there with all of our equipment, tools, and whatever we had. And Carl mistakenly scheduled the crane for tomorrow.
Oh, good. So you can't go tomorrow, huh? You can't get there tomorrow? You got something else going?
Well, I'm trying to get everything moved so I can go. I really don't want to do it tomorrow because I've got class prep to do for my class tomorrow night. Got a lot of tomorrow night's going to be a busy because it's the formula night. You know, all of the math type questions and whatnot. So I want to make sure that I do good with the guys and make sure that they know what's going on. So I've got a lot of prep for that.
Oh, it's just easy. The eagle sees the Indian over the rabbit. That's all you need.
Yeah, but when the rabbit goes in the hole, you got to know what to do then.
Oh, for crying out loud. Well, E equals MC squared then.
Well, I just tell them to go to M squared and they'll take care of you.
Okay.
KM6SRR.
Uh-oh.
One that goes away with most metal in the air is the winner, over.
What time tomorrow?
The crane's scheduled at 10 tomorrow.
Ooh, exciting.
And the crane comes in at 10, and when does the stork get there?
Yeah. Well, I hope we have good weather. It was nice today, but it was a little chilly, but it was still good weather for it. But I don't know about tomorrow. It's Still should be, I hope. I don't think we're going to get any rain till Thursday.
No, I think we're going to be fine, and hopefully it'll be even quieter from a wind standpoint. So, yeah, you don't need wind, and you don't need rain while you're in the bucket.
No, don't want to do that. Okay, I've got to get out of here. See you guys all later. My 6 meters is slowing up here right now for the wife. So 7-3's all. Have a good one. WA60IB Northern Clovis.
Good night, Ken. WA60LO.
Okay, GBS, go ahead. Somebody with an S, go ahead.
November 7, Whiskey Tango.
Whiskey Tango, okay. Say hello to Ken. Go ahead, Ken.
Hey, the N7WT, WA60IB. Have a good one. I got to go. Good night.
Okay, Ken. Have a good one. November 7, Whiskey Tango.
N7 Whiskey Tango, K6 Mike Italy. Very nice signal.
K6 Mike Italy, good evening. N7WT. By the way, Mike, while I got the heat down here, of course you're well aware of it, but we had FT8 South America, Central America, and off into the Pacific today. So we worked a few people here and there. Anyway, but nothing on the sideband. What's happened is the cell phone texting crowd believes that FT8 is the way to go, and they don't like to talk. N7WT.
That's the understatement of the world. Okay, Fox Kilo 8 was in, but he wasn't working anybody. He was trying to either work Wisconsin or Africa. He had two different people, say two different destinations, but he wouldn't talk to anybody in the States.
Roger, yeah, I've been seeing that for the last, every time he comes in, he's really hard to work. I don't know. I guess he doesn't want to work anybody but rare stuff.
Yeah, there used to be, it's probably the same guy, Fox Kilo 8, I can't remember his two-letter call, but I used to call him every now and then when he would be coming in. I wouldn't work him, like you hear him, this year, and then I'd hear him again next year. He says, I'm not going to work you, I already worked you. Bye.
Yeah, there was a Hotel Kilo 3 whiskey. It was also like that. Everybody calling and nobody working. Over.
Yeah, well, I mean, it takes about as little time to say you're 5 and 9, Mike, 7-3.
I think the guy's got his clock wrong or something because everybody's trying to work that Hotel Kilo 3 in Colombia. Yet he doesn't seem to want to answer anybody. N7WT.
Yeah, who knows? Anybody else? Rob, you want to say hello to Larry?
Of course. How you doing, Larry? N7WT, Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo, over.
Yeah, good sound. It's not real strong, S4, but clear, good signal there, Rob, N7WT.
Yeah, you're good copy also. I noticed a little bit of QSB there. Good to hear you. Okay, Mike, thanks.
Yeah, Rich?
WT, W6BBS.
Double, Frank, say it again.
N6WT, how copy W6BBS, over?
He's a 7.
I mean, N7WT, I know that, I'm just brain dead. W6BBS, over? I guess you can't hear me. I guess I should have turned the amp on. I don't have the amp running.
Okay, let me ask Larry, and you'll have time to turn that on if you want. Is Richard in here tonight, Larry?
I don't think so. I called him on 220 a couple of times and didn't raise him, so I don't know if he's here or not.
Well, he was there last night, and every indication was that he would be here. He said he would be here, and he would tell you that I would be starting with you at about 8:15. We did what we were supposed to do anyway. Over.
On 220 FM, and I get no answer. He's not in the shack, or?
Yeah, boy, a long, slow fade. You're going weaker and weaker and weaker, but still very Q5. Okay, well, if Richard comes in, have him call us on CW. Usually I can hear his CW. Over.
Roger. Anyway, the band condition on 6 meters tonight is just about as bad now as it was on 220. Anyway, we'll say 7-3. You're going down into the noise. N7WT.
Yeah, Roger. 7-3. Is he down for you, Frank?
Well, I could hear him okay. Not real strong. The antenna's only about 25 feet, so it's not real high. And I'm not even bothering to turn the amp on. It's a 3-minute warm-up and all that, and for one contact, I'm not going to do that, over.
Yeah, no problem. Just didn't want to keep you from doing it if you wanted to.
Oh no, it's not like I haven't worked him before. I was just basically kind of testing the location. I was hearing him; he's a little bit warbly, but in this direction, I have two things going on. Where at the antenna's elevation, it's kind of looking at the bank, but 4 miles from me in this direction is Deadwood at 4,400 and some feet. And so I look straight through Deadwood in Larry's direction, over.
That makes Larry sound really funny coming through all that dirt. Let's see if Kerry's here. KC5D2U. Kerry, are you here tonight? Well, he's been missing the last couple of nights. I'll have to call him and see what's going on.
759 KR6MR.
KR6MR will take you, pointed toward Nevada.
Well, I'm kind of in line between Nevada. You're coming in very good tonight. Over.
Yeah, you got to make longer transmissions. It takes me a minute to write your call and your number down. Very good, John. Good signal. And we've got our fingers crossed for tomorrow night on 1296, hopefully.
59. Had a great time on 6 meters, getting into New Zealand, Australia, South America. And a guy in New Caledonia, for some reason, was trying his best to make contact with Africa all day and didn't get a single contact and wouldn't answer anybody else. Over.
Well, that's the way he is. I worked him one time, by the way. I worked him one time, and then I would call him every now and then, 6 or 8 months later when he was coming in again, well, to the West Coast, and nobody had worked him on the West Coast, and I'd call him, and he'd say, Mike, I worked you already, bye.
Yeah, well, he was on FT8. He was +8 to +12.
Yeah, does that mean he was moving the S meter?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. No, he's got a great station, great location. One of the first in and last out over in that whole area.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I'll let you continue with the net, KR6MR. I'm going to go crawl in the corner.
Oh, okay. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, on 1296. One of these days, I guess, let's see, Dan, I think it was Dan had called and got a hold of, or it was Tyler, one of the two of them got a hold of KE6ILX, and I guess Jeff's trying to get everything back in the air and get back on here, so one of these days we'll have Jeff back, KE6ILX in the Grass Valley, over.
Yeah, I'd like to see him up in the air as well. Maybe I can try to get a hold of him as well. Anyway, KR6MR back to net.
Yeah, if you drop him an email, give him some encouragement. He's been his hands full. I don't know what was going on for the last year, but he's been gone. But he has kids in school, and a girl, one of his daughters is in Annapolis, and, you know, a lot of things like that. So heavy-duty stuff going on, over.
Wow, good for him and good for the daughter. That's very, very good.
Yeah, she got a scholarship to Annapolis. This must be no stupid kid, huh?
Yeah, and no stupid dad either.
Yeah, for sure. And they invited the whole family back, and Jeff and the family went back when she got inducted, and it was a big deal. But they invited them to come back and see her join up, so that was wonderful. But that's now 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's really super. Is she by chance a ham?
I don't think so. But he's got 2 or 3 other kids, and they're all probably similarly bright, and he's really putting all his effort into getting them into good schools and that stuff.
Well, if they're really smart, they will not become a ham. Hi.
Well, I don't know about that. I know 1 or 2 smart hams.
Yeah, okay, Mike, I'll catch you later. KR6MR.
Yeah, 7-3.
884 WB6GGY 884.
Evening, Dan.
You're Dan. Was that the N6RZJ, Dan?
Yeah, good evening, Mike. Yeah, just listening. I got a little bit of 6-meter activity today on FT8, but got in a little too late to get all the fun stuff that John did. Anyway, Bozo 939 checking in, and back to you, N6RZJ.
Yeah, gotcha. I guess you had a pretty good conversation with Bill. Bill's going some rough times right now with his mother. His mother's doing very poorly. He's got things going on there, but he is interested in either having you or Tyler, N6 UTV, help him out. Tyler's got a bucket truck and only lives 5 or 10 miles away, so it might be better for him to do the thing with Bill, but Bill's got to put it off for a week or two until things settle down. Over.
I think we ought to all meet there and converge on him and give him a hand. I did talk to Jeff on the phone yesterday, and he said he would be willing to come down if he could fit it into his schedule. And he was going to work on getting stuff back on the air, but it's going to take him a while. He had an issue with the property line, and so he had to take down his travel trailer that he was using as his ham shack. And so he had to take down everything, towers, antennas out of trees and everything. So he's going to be down for a little while. Over.
Now, that just happened recently or years ago?
Oh, just in the last 6 months or so. Well, when he stopped checking in, he had to take everything down. So I guess the dispute has been all resolved, and he's good to go back up in the air. He just needs to find the time to do it.
Yeah, okay. Well, good luck. Yeah, it would be better for him not to get involved with the Bill thing, only because he's got to spend the time doing his own thing. I'd rather him getting back on the air. And now we've got you and maybe Tyler to help out with Bill. So Bill's going to return Tyler's email today, and we'll just have to be patient with Bill right now. He's got physical problems of his own, and he's also got a very, very sick mother. He may be having to deal with that over the next few weeks here. So it can be, his situation can wait. I just want to have you guys aware of the fact that he does need help, and when he gets clear, maybe we can get him taken care of. Thanks again, Dan. N6RZJ in the group, K6MYC.
Yeah, happy to do it. I hope it works out. It's totally up to him. We've got a few options, so yep, we put it on the table. It's up to Bill. I understand he's got lots going on. So whenever he feels up to it and wants to help, it'll be there. N6RZJ clear.
Again, thanks so much for your consideration there, Dan. I really appreciate it. All right. Let's see. We got, who else do we have in here? We got, I'm not sure who's here. KO6KD was here. Is there anybody else? K6MYC, Bozo Net.
Bozo 884. Bozo 884 WB6GGY.
Yeah, I got you, Phil. I got you written in here already. It's just that Dan popped in there, and I had to finish the conversation with Dan because he'd been working with Bill on getting some antenna work for Bill down there. Good to hear you. Good to catch you this morning. Sorry it was a little bit jumbled up this morning. Should be more realistic, more stable tomorrow morning. Anyway, good signal as always. At WB6GGY, K6MYC.
Okay, real good. I'll get out of your way, and thank you for the check-in, and we'll be on the side. WB6GGY.
535 FM.
Is that? Up 5 or something. Somebody said something. I didn't get it.
No, sorry, Mike. KR6MR.
Oh, do you want Phil to go up or down 5 kilohertz?
Okay. You're over on 53. Okay, thanks. And Mike, if you get me checked in here, I'll get out of the way. KO6KD.
Okay, I got you, Bill. Thank you.
I'll say again. Okay, KO6KD clear.
Got you, Bill. See you in the morning.
Roger.
How about anybody else down there? I'm still pointed toward Nevada, so I'm working everybody just pointed right into Nevada. It doesn't seem to matter tonight. It's weird. Let me come more towards Sacramento. Maybe we can hear. Have you heard Darren yet? No, I am pointed at Sacramento. Okay, well, I guess I did that without being conscious of doing it. Anybody else for the Bozo Net from Sacramento to the north, K6MYC? All quiet, so I'm going to go to Oakley. Here we go.
KC5, DTU, 712.
Well, you must have had your ears burning. I just called you a minute ago.
Laura had me tied up doing some chores. Sorry about that. I wasn't in the shack.
Yeah, no problem. We got you. We missed you last night, of course, but I think you had company or something last night. But good to hear you. A lot of things happening today, but seems like it's all pretty good. Although it turns out that $10 million rumor, bribe rumor, was a rumor, and it was all wrong. Over.
Well, it's not over yet. Engoron is going to go down. We just have to be patient.
Is that the judge?
That's affirmative.
Yeah, well, it may not be because of the bribe, but the bribe was a made-up story. I don't know who did it. It came from an unidentified source originally. It was tracked down by one of the other guys in the Bay Area. Over.
Roger, roger.
Anyway, it worked out one way or the other, and the fake media is very upset today. Over.
As they should be. Things are happening.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to get this paper where I can read the lines and get your call in here. Go ahead, Kerry.
Okay, no problem. I'll try and link up with you this week. Maybe another trip up to the hill.
Oh yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. Unusual, but Frank's going to be here tomorrow. At least he said he would be, and that would be unusual. He was normally stays and does stuff with Jen on Monday, but he hadn't been up here for several days, so he came up. He's also going to be back tomorrow, but I don't know about Wednesday. Friday is also a day which he does not come up. You're also welcome to be here when he is here, but we're also trying to get a few things done when he's here. But that doesn't matter. We got to take you when we can get you, Kerry. Over.
Roger, roger. Will do. Okay, K6MYC, KC5, DTU.
Yeah.
That's where we're at now. You're warning people that I might be at your house?
Yes, I'm warning him.
Yeah, no, I'll be there tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, Mike. I'll straight on through. We'll do something every day unless you got something else going on.
Okay, well, there's the schedule, Kerry. Would you copy, Frank?
Yeah, that's affirmative.
Okay. Again, it's not a necessity. You can certainly come up here when Frank is here. Frank is a big boy. He's capable of working at least 15 minutes all by himself sometimes.
Roger that. KC5, DTU.
Yeah, okay, very good. I did watch the short Mike Benz 20-minute interview about Hunter Biden. Did you see that one?
Negative.
You might look for it. I think it's on YouTube. Mike Benz, 20 minutes or so. Related to Hunter Biden. It turns out that whole thing is he's a CIA asset, and he goes into the whole rundown of how that all got started, and it's been going on for years. Over.
Okay, I'll give a look-see.
Yeah. But that's why nobody moves on him, because the CIA controls the DOJ right now.
That doesn't surprise me. They've got their hands in so many things.
Oh yeah. Every day goes by, it's dirtier. anyway, have a look at that. I have a copy of it here. Worst case, we can bring it up when you come up and listen to it then, but it'd be better if you've heard it sooner than later, over.
Roger. Okay. I'll look for it and see what I can come up with. I'm sure I can find it.
Yeah, the right one is, he comes on the screen, just a picture of him. He's kind of balding, but he's got a white shirt and a red tie. And that's all that's on the screen is a face, a red tie and a white shirt, over.
Okay. All right. I'll definitely give a look for it, and so we can discuss it further.
Roger.
I'm sure it's going to be a doozy.
Well, it is, and it's fast-paced. I had to listen to it 2 or 3 times because it's so deep, and a lot of 3-letter agencies are mentioned, and you have to go back and figure out what the name of those are, what they mean, and of course he explains it, but he's going at 100 miles an hour as he always does, over.
Yeah, Roger that. Well, these guys, a bunch of them have had a bunch of protection for a long time, and things are beginning to happen. I don't know if you saw today that, or if you even know who P. Diddy is, but he is part of the Hollywood end of the sex trafficking and pedophilia ring. He was raided today, so that was on the regular news. So that is worth something looking into.
Yeah, I heard something about it. What was the guy's name?
He's a rapper, and his name, he goes by the name of P. Diddy, and he's up to it, bad things up to his neck, or probably to his eyeballs, and he's part of the Hollywood connection.
Yeah. No, I heard about it, and it was heard bits and pieces of it on 2 different programs. So, yeah, it's been exposed, but and it was quite a story. All right.
Comment.
Go ahead.
W6BBS. Hi, Kerry. Yeah, I saw some of the news clips, and they went in with battering rams and everything to his both East Coast and West Coast houses, and they did them simultaneously so they couldn't be calling each other. And I don't think one report I said that saw that they didn't think he was there at that house, but they were arresting other people and whatnot. So looks like a pretty big deal, over.
Yeah, roger that. Well, he's dirty, and even alleged to have ordered hit jobs on some people, and it's bad, but they're bringing them down.
Yeah. This morning when I was headed to Mike's on KMJ, they were talking about it, and they had, I don't know if it was one of the DJs there that I'm not familiar with or a guest or something, but he actually worked with him back years ago when he was first getting started in all his stuff he's doing, and said that there was, I don't remember the reason, but for some reason he had to be in the same room where the showers was, and that he would just come in and he would just get naked and walk around and take his shower and walk around in front of everybody, and just nothing mattered, and this guy that was on KMJ said, it made him very uncomfortable, but at that stage in his career he didn't dare say anything, over.
Yeah, roger that. Well, he's been connected to pedophilia and sex trafficking, so let's see what happens. From the looks of it, it was a Fed bus, so we'll see what the Department of Justice does with it. So, but it's happening.
Yep, very good. Yeah, FBI, Homeland Security, I guess everybody was involved. Go ahead and take it away, Mike. W6BBS, back to net.
Okay, very good. Thanks for the update, Kerry, and the follow on Frank. Somebody said, who cares? Well, you should care, because it's bigger than just this one story, but that's okay. It's probably something that isn't necessarily made for the 6-meter net. It came up accidentally here. Anyway, let's see. I'm pointing toward Oakley, N6RO, K6MYC. Oh, Oakley. Okay, K6ERF, Russ. Moving down, K6 Echo Romeo Fox. Russ or anybody else in that direction? Okay, coming down into the Bay Area. QRZ Bozo Net, 6 meters, kilowatt, 6 Mike Yankee Charlie, QRZ.
If you copy WA6LIE.
I do, and you're coming in nicely pointed toward the Bay Area. WA6LIE, did you get a chance to play 6 today again?
Yeah, very good evening there, Mike. Yes, I did. It wasn't too great. I mean, a few VKs, a few ZLs, and of course, FD8CP was only calling CQ for Africa or Wisconsin. So if you weren't in Africa or Wisconsin, you didn't work them. Because I've heard everybody else and seen everybody else try to work them. I tried to work them, nobody worked them. So anyway, make long story short, yeah, it was good in New Caledonia for his Super 6 for a while. He was, the only one in the band. Everybody else is still kind of in there, but not totally in there. So he opened and closed the band, but in between, there are a lot of VKZL contacts. Of course, yesterday I worked it down to Antarctica, Central America, and Mexico, and here and there. So that was all FT8, and there was zero, not a damn thing on 50.110. You couldn't hear a peep. So this thing, band conditions were okay. Some good strong signals, which would have been good on sideband, but just weren't on sideband. Everybody was on FT8, Mike. Over.
Yeah, I know. I was listening. I was calling on 300. I was also calling on 110, but got nobody nowhere. And a lot of S-meter movement on the FT8 signal somewhere, S7, which pointed to South America. I never spun around toward VK. But the FK8 is always that way. I worked him once about 8-10 years ago, and the next time I tried to call him a couple of years later and tell him he was banging into the West Coast, he said, I've already worked you 2 years ago, Mike. Thanks, 7-3.
Yeah, there's another ZL just like that. I've worked you before. Don't call me again. So at any rate, it is what it is. I haven't worked you before. I've worked New Caledonia before, so I don't need it. But, it is what it is, Mike. So at any rate, yeah, it's probably over for now. But then again, we're in springtime conditions, so I finally got the amplifier hooked up, so I'm running the amplifier now. So maybe that's why I'm a little bit stronger. So looks like the amplifier's on until I'm not here anymore at this PGH. So, great, Mike. Let you continue on. Have a great evening. Good DX to you, and 73 WA6LIE.
Yeah, Roger. Good signal. And I guess you're at the home QTH. That's probably why it's so very stable and very clear. Nice copy, Scott. Thank you for that. And, yeah, Ken was on, and he worked quite a few VKs and ZLs and heard the FK8. Everybody heard the Fox Kiloway. You couldn't miss him. But I guess 2 people said he was trying to work Wisconsin, so some of the guys heard that, and other people saw him trying to work Africa. So I guess they also saw that. But I don't think he made those contacts in Wisconsin, or serve him right if nobody answered him. Oh, my God. It takes about as much effort to say, I'm not going to work you again, Mike. I already worked you. That is, does to say, you're 5 and 9, Mike. Thanks for the update. Bye-bye.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hell, it just takes too much effort and whatnot to say, hey, I don't want to work you again, rather than say, hey, thanks for the contact, we worked before 73. Jays love it. I mean, Jay will say, hey, I worked you 20 times. Thank you. But, yeah, this guy, hey, I've already worked you before. Don't bug me. So, and I'm just looking for Wisconsin or Africa. Don't bug me. All right, well, some people are like that. What can I say, Mike? WA6LIE.
Yeah, I won't call my friends in Africa or Wisconsin and get them on for you then either.
Yeah, I hear that.
Okay, enough of that. 7-3, thanks, Scott. Yours in the Bay Area, Bozo Net, K6MYC.
KW6S.
KW6S, Santa Cruz. Good evening.
Good evening, Mike. Yeah, you're sounding real respectful. I thought you were pointed right at me when you were up at N6RO.
Yeah, I was pointed at 300 degrees, but as it just turns out, it doesn't matter so much right now on 6. It's going everywhere.
Yeah, well, you sound real good. And again, tonight on 6, no noise at all. So, yeah, I'm hopefully going to be able to get on to 6 tomorrow, but it's still going to be kind of late in the afternoon. Wednesday, I've got a good shot at it.
Yeah, well, hopefully it'll still be open. This sun flare that knocked out the bands and did some disturbing things on other bands has certainly not done any bad stuff to 6 meters, so everybody's happy about that. That's good. Anyway, you're sounding good. Is Lee in here tonight?
Kilo Bravo 6, Lima Echo Echo. Sure I am.
10-9-8. Gotcha. Go ahead.
Roger. No, I don't really have anything else to talk about instead of playing radio today. I was outside cutting limbs off of trees and cutting down some dead trees and hauling the stuff away. And yeah, I'm just having a glass of wine for medicinal purposes only and enjoying listening to everybody else on the radio, KB6LEE.
Okay. Very good. Medicinal and sleeping purposes. It makes you go to sleep a little bit easier and sleep peaceful. You drinking Merlot or what are you drinking?
Cabernet.
Did you have a nice steak for dinner?
No, actually we had shepherd's pie. My wife made a shepherd's pie a couple of nights ago, and we had a whole bunch of it left over. And shepherd's pie is one of my favorite things. Corned beef and cabbage, shepherd's pie, that sort of thing. I love it all. And yeah, so we enjoyed that again tonight and kind of recuperated from all of the hauling and hacking and hewing out here.
Yeah, okay. I've been doing the same, but mostly crawling around my hands and knees, pulling weeds in amongst the landscaping. I got 2 30-gallon barrels of weeds out of the area just on one side of the pool. I hardly have more than maybe 10 square feet of dirt on that side and rocks and landscaping and stuff, and then around the trees and stuff. I still managed to get 2 barrels of weeds out of there, including some big thistles. All right. I guess, have you made any headway raising or lowering the 432 antenna?
Actually, because of the weather that we had here, I took the whole thing down. It's on a temporary mast and whatnot, and it's very easy for me to put it back up again. And there's supposed to be more weather coming in. Again, it's not guide, and all I have it on is like a tripod base that's held in place with a couple of cinder blocks. So I don't feel real comfortable if we're looking at 20, 30-mile-an-hour winds, getting it up any more than, the 15 feet that it was at there. And so I'm probably going to wait until the weather passes next weekend just to see if I can get anything better. Plus, I'm getting ready to go to IDXC, so we'll see how things shake out.
Okay, I don't know what IDXC is.
Visalia.
Oh, okay. International DX. IDXC. I don't know what the C stands for, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll see you in Visalia.
Convention.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm hoping to meet some of you guys up there. That'll be a fun thing. LE.
Yeah, Tom had talked about maybe coming over. I know WA6LOL, Dave's coming down. I'm going to have a friend from Seattle or from the Olympia, Washington area coming in also, so we'll have quite a gang.
Oh, that sounds really good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, so hopefully I'll see you there. Again, K6MYC, KB6LEE.
Let me give you one more invitation. If you get there for Friday, the show is open from noon till 5 o'clock, and we're going to be at the show, and then at that point in time we drive over to Fresno, and we have the Fresno Amateur Radio Club meeting. It starts at 7. We usually get over there by about 6 at 6:15, get everything set up. It's going to be in a nice big auditorium that's lent to us for that purpose. There's going to be a whole bunch of Bozo members there. And then after the meeting, which usually lasts till about 9, then we all go out to dinner at Denny's. We've got a very, very, very high-end Denny's restaurant that gives us good service. And we're all going out there for dinner afterwards. So you're open and you're invited to that if you can time it right. Over.
Well, that sounds really good. I appreciate the invitation, and I'll see what everybody else is doing. There's a lot of people coming from the Santa Cruz area out to Visalia, and so we'll just see what kind of shakes down. I know I've been talking with Tom and also with Bob, K6XX, who goes out there with Elecraft, and trying to work out all of the little details. But I appreciate the offer. Thank you very much, Mike. K6MYC, KB6LEE.
Okay, very good, Lee. Thanks for checking in here, and we should be. I'm pointed. Maybe I'm a little bit south. I'm pointed toward you guys. Let me go back up into the Bay Area just a little bit more here. And check-ins from the Bay Area. We're waiting. K6MYC Bozo Net.
WA6AXX.
Okay, got you, Ed.
Yeah, KB6WFC was in there also, and I have a comment.
Okay, KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, did you say he has a comment?
No, I do, but he's in there as well. I'm not sure if you heard him.
I didn't hear him. Let me try and see if I can hear him. KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, I'm pointed right at you, Mike. KB6WFC, I got you logged in, but good to hear you. Go ahead.
KB6WFC still there? Can you hear Mike? Mikey? Okay, Mikey. Mike is hearing you on the stream, but not on the radio anymore.
I can hear him in there, but he's very, very weak. Sorry about that, Mike, but we have you logged in. Thanks for checking in. Maybe something fell down there. Over.
Did something fall down, Mike, or just propagation?
Just propagation. I don't know.
Well, very good. Well, you're checked in, so thanks for checking in. So thanks for getting on frequency.
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. I'm pointed up at 300 degrees, so I'm north of you about 10 degrees, but you came up and you were Q5 on that one, Mike. Good evening. KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, K6MYC, over.
Yeah, K6MYC, KB6WFC, 5 and 6.
Yeah, okay. Well, the path is skewed tonight. I've checked the antennas every day, and they're pointed where they're supposed to be, but the pattern is one place, but the propagation's coming another way. So who can tell? Right. Very good. 7-3, Mike. Thanks. And back to you, Ed, for your comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is real quick. So I heard you mention the Mike Benz video, and so I watched one 2 or 3 weeks ago based on the comment you made, and so Mike Benz, in my opinion, so he intentionally makes the message confusing and complex, and that's why I have to try to view it 3 times if try to get anything out of it. And it's a rhetorical technique, and it gives the impression of depth and intelligence without necessarily providing clear or valuable content. And it's a tactic that can be used to overwhelm the audience, making it difficult to question his assertions or to identify the lack of substantive argument. So, Mike, if it's hard to follow what he's saying, keep in mind that it may be intentional. What do you think?
No, not intentional. It's just that he's trying to pack a lot of information in a very short period of time, that's all. And, of course, the stuff is so easy for him because he lives it, that it's just easy for him, and he doesn't take the time to sometimes identify 3-letter entities that we may not have on the tip of our tongue. But he's heavy in terms of getting information out of it. But you do have to pay attention, and as I say, listen a couple of times. Well, you might have seen the other one when he was it Tucker Carlson that interviewed him for about an hour? Is that the one you're talking about?
That probably was the one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this one, the latest one, was on the CIA and its entanglement and all the things that it's been doing with Ukraine and all the rest of the stuff since about the time that there was a regime change in the Ukraine. They were in there before that, but they got involved with Burisma and all the rest of that, and of course he explains all the reasons for that and so on. So that's where Hunter Biden come into the picture. He turns out is an asset. That's why nobody can touch him, and the CIA controls the DOJ.
Okay. Well, just keep in mind, if somebody is talking and it's too complex to follow, just keep in mind, it may be intentional, and he's got a ton of YouTube videos. I'm sure he makes a fair amount of money from YouTube, and kind of that's his thing. But just beware. That's my impression. I could be wrong, but yeah, I couldn't get anything out of that interview. If it was with Tucker Carlson, I didn't come away with anything meaningful. He couldn't follow him. It was just but that's his deal. That's his technique, in my opinion. It's a rhetorical technique. But again, I could be wrong. So K6MYC WA6AX.
Okay, well, good. You at least are watching it. I think there's a lot there. The people that I know watched it, everybody seemed to get quite a bit out of it. There didn't seem to be any massive confusion. I watched it with my son. I had watched it earlier that day, and then watched it again with he. And we it's maddening to hear some of the stuff that's going on. But anyway, he's highly respected in many areas, so including anybody that Tucker Carlson's interviewing is worth listening to, at least, even if you can't get much out of it. Maybe it's. I didn't get any impression that he was doing it intentionally. I think he was just trying to cover a lot of ground very quickly. That's all I got. And I can't absorb it as fast as he was giving it. So, you've got an hour and you've got to cram a lot of stuff in there. So whether it's done and it's jam-packed with information. Anyway, enough of that. Good day. You might look for the most recent one. It's about 20 minutes. Let's see. Okay, anybody else in the Bay Area? K6MYC Bozo Net. How about PQL? How about KD6SOK, WB6JNN, K6KLY, KD6SOK, KB6BA, WB6BI. Oh, for gosh sake, I forgot Gary's call.
Did you get PQL?
I did. You didn't respond. Go ahead, PQL.
Probably doubled, Mike. This is W6PQL, present and accounted for.
Present and accounted for. Okay, very good. Did you get on earlier to and try with Steve, or I guess he doesn't have 220 down in Santa Barbara, does he?
Oh yeah, he does. I do 220 with him and also 1296. Those are the two bands that we do this on. He wasn't there tonight. He probably had his motorcycle club meeting on. He generally does that Monday nights.
Okay. I didn't hear you. I called you back at one point at about 5 to 8. I figured you'd already gone up to 222, 110 for him, but I figured I'd catch you here and find out if you worked him or not.
Yeah, tonight was probably his motorcycle club meeting night. He does that once a month, and it's on a Monday, so we'll probably see him tomorrow on 1296.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, we'll see you then, and we've got some new people trying to get signals out. By the way, Jeff, we haven't heard from for a long time. I think he worked Jeff, KE6ILX. He lives up in Grass Valley. He had all the bands. I found out what happened to him. Apparently, he had his trailer on a piece of property right where he lives there, but apparently a property line dispute came up, and it turns out that he was on somebody else's property with his motorhome that he had the ham station and the towers on. So he had to take everything down and move it, and he's in the process of trying to get going again. But it'll be good to have Jeff back on because he had all the bands, and he's very skilled, and he had pretty good power on all the bands. He'd been doing moon bounce on the various bands and so on. W6PQL, K6MYC.
Okay, well, gosh, I'm sorry to hear you had that dispute. Things do happen, especially if people are not visiting their property very often. But anyway, I hope he gets everything set up properly again and back on the air. All right, Mike, we'll see you tomorrow on 1296, K6MYC, W6PQL. Be closing it up here.
Okay, and we're on in the mornings on 42, so you could catch us there if you get time. See you later. Maybe you're going to go out and play golf tomorrow morning.
Well, I'm waiting for the weather to clear up. It's just off and on. Right now, the golf courses are all pretty spongy, and you probably need a week of very dry weather for that to be okay. We had an inch and a half or so of rain going back about 3 days ago, a couple of nights. It was overnight here. 1 inch one night and about half an inch the next night. Nothing last night, but set up the ground pretty soft, and we've got some more coming. It might be a week or so before I'm able to get out there, but I'm looking forward to it. Thanks.
Okay. Very good. Well, I know you're probably getting anxious after being away from it for 3 weeks. You'll have to relearn the game, you know. Which end of the club do you hang on to anyway, is it? It may be so weak you're not copying. Anyway, 7-3 for now, Jim. You took a big dive, but still Q5. W6PQL, K6MYC.
Yeah, you're very weak, Mike. I don't know, maybe an amp dropped out, but you're very, very weak.
Now, who was that? Is that you, Ed?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you dropped out too.
Just commenting.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Ed. I'm trying to find a peak on the signals. Go ahead.
Okay, K6MYC, K6MYC, WA6AXX. You were really strong when we were talking, and I understand you may have turned your beam a little bit for Jim, but nevertheless, he kind of dropped way down, and not sure if an amp dropped out. That's all. I think Jim wasn't copying you near the end. Anyway, maybe you turn your beam on me now. I'll turn it back to you. K6MYC, WA6AXX.
Now, I'm back on you, but it's just the band. The band dropped out on you. You went right down, and I went back to the normal heading, and you weren't any better, and then you just came back up to life. But it's way down, so there's a little path disturbance here. Holy cow. Because you were so solid when we were talking about Mike Benz, it was no problem, and then all of a sudden it just, and the same thing happened for Jim. That was, whatever it is, it's bothering both of you. All right, we got everything, I think. Let's see if there's anyone else in the Bay Area. Maybe you can make a call, see if I'm blocked out with somebody else over there. K6MYC looking for Bozo check-ins out of the Bay Area. Over.
BBS.
Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, I want to check out, and as I go out the door, I just looked at the weather. From Wednesday through Sunday, at my elevation, a possibility added up is 2.5 inches. So it looks like we might have a little something coming our way. I will see you in the morning, sir. K6MYC and all the net. Good night, W6BBS.
Yeah, okay, good night, Frank. And, the power line noise or my inverter noise is just pounding me because I'm looking toward the Bay Area. I got the blanket around. Everybody sounds like they're got gravel in their throat, but it's just a noise blanker. It's really working hard under these conditions. Anyway, see ya, and we'll see you in the morning. W6BBS. Anybody else in the Bay Area? I'm going to go one more time, and then I'm going to go south. I don't think we have anybody in the Southern California area. Rob, are you in here?
Roger, just standing by.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You did work the guys in Nevada at the beginning, so I have you logged in now that I remember. All right. Bay Area, last call. Let's see. The one I'm missing is N6RO. N6RO, you should be done with dinner now, Ken, over.
Yeah, K6MYC N6RO. It was very delicious. Barramundi from the Western Pacific. And nothing else new to report, N6RO.
Okay, very good. Thanks for checking in here. I'm not pointed at you, but you're strong. I knew it would be if we could just get you out. And I'm going to go have dinner. I haven't had mine yet. Matt got home a little bit late and didn't get dinner done until I was already starting the net here. So I'm kind of anxious to do that myself. 7-3, Ken. We'll see you tomorrow on 1296, hopefully. N6 Radio Oscar and the group, K6MYC, Bozo Net. Last call for the Bay Area. K6 ERF we're missing. That's a big one that normally is in here. K6 Echo Romeo Fox with the whole family in the background. Maybe he's lost his ham shack. K6MYC. No, okay. I'm going to Southern California. We're going to call KB6RQU just for ducks. Rob, over.
Roger.
Call It Quits. That's a new station. It Quits. Call It Quits, and I'll go get some dinner. Coming around to Southern California. KB6RQU. 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 Lake Isabella. K6MYC. Calling and listening. Anybody else in the San Joaquin Valley is also welcome to check in. We didn't get any bills tonight. We didn't get anybody in here except Ken and yourself, and nobody else in the Bay Area. I mean, in the San Joaquin. That's unusual.
Oh, we got Kerry.
We did get Kerry. I'm sorry, I forgot about Kerry. And of course, I think Aaron, you're here, aren't you? Aaron's probably putting the kids to bed. I think I logged in Aaron way back at the beginning. Wasn't he in there when you checked in, Rob?
Yeah, he was in there before me talking with Mike. John, K6MI.
Yeah, okay. So I must have him down here. I've got 21 check-ins here.
Yeah, I've got 21.
Okay. KB6RQU, K6MYC. Over, Rick. Anybody down there in South America, copy us here on this frequency. I'm beaming right down toward Chile. Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie, Delta Mike 07. Any openings here on 6? It's funny. We get check-ins here occasionally when we have short skip, but we don't work any. We don't get anybody that's doing FT8. I'll tell you.
Yeah, Mike, I'm here.
Yeah, I think we got you checked in earlier, Aaron. Rob said you were in there, and I checked in everybody that was on here at the beginning.
Yeah, it's just I wasn't sitting in front of the microphone, but I am here listening.
Okay. Were you able to copy Ed up in the Bay Area?
Well, through your radio, yeah, because I'm always listening to both. So yeah, I did hear what Ed was saying.
Okay. Well, listen, I think we're done here, so let's call it a night, and we'll see everybody that can get here tomorrow on 1296. I know you will not be here at the early stages anyway, Rob, but we might just do you a favor and check you in anyway.
Yeah, I try to get home quick so I can get on there, and if Aaron still has radio on, I check in there. Over.
Yeah, the problem is I don't. The 1296 radio is in the barn, so when I leave the barn, I don't hear your late check-in. So maybe I'll just check you in early, and then whenever you get home, you can say hi to Aaron and Kerry and whoever else is checking in, and then tell me on Wednesday who you checked in with. Over.
Okay, that sounds good. Yep, I forgot what I was going to say.
All right, good night for now. When's Candy coming home?
Tomorrow night about 6:30 or so. So she's going to have to stay over. I think she's going to stay with Ben and Judy, and then I'll leave the meeting and pick her up.
And then you'll do what?
I said meeting. I'll leave the class and then go pick her up.
Oh, I got you. That'll make you even later. All right, well, I'll get you taken care of one way or the other here. 7-3, Aaron, thanks for the help again. And you know, one thing on the streaming picture that I have on my screen, Aaron, I cannot see where the frequency is on my radio. I got the frequency very big on my screen, but it doesn't appear that way on the screen you have up. So I don't know. By looking at the streaming picture, I can't see what frequency I'm on.
Well, yeah, Mike, on Monday nights, I watch both rigs, so the picture's a little bit small, and if I bring up the actual Yaesu software, so if you look at the screen now, in the upper left-hand corner is where the frequency is for the Yaesu software, but most of the time I have the streaming software up, so I can monitor the chat and stuff like that, and so then that makes what we're actually broadcasting really tiny on that screen.
Okay, yeah, I can see it on the Yaesu picture that's on the screen right now. I just couldn't see it on the 9700. No problem. I just thought I'd mention it. I didn't know where to look for it. All right, 7-3. We'll see you later. K6MYC off and getting dinner.
All righty, Mike. Good night. And Rob, have fun with all that math tomorrow.
Oh, okay, yeah. Stick it in and turn it. Okay. Hey, Mike, I forgot to tell you, I had a couple chocolate chip cookies in your behalf.
No, good. I still have a couple of those that you brought over. I might reciprocate the effort.
That sounds good to me.
Okay. Take care.
Okay, Mike. K6MYC, KM6SR, 73.
All righty, and good night, guys, and good night to everybody listening on YouTube, K6USY DMO6.
Good night, Aaron.